Well, welcome everybody to Inspire Conversations with Kim Evans, your host. And I'm so excited to bring back today Miss Carolyn A. Brent. Woo! Miss Carolyn A. Brent actually was one of my first guests when we were starting the first month of the podcast. And we talked about some wonderful things about self care and caregiving. And she's just an amazing woman. And I had to bring her back. So we're doing a part two. Miss Carolyn A. Brent, welcome and thank you so much for being a guest again on the podcast show.
And Kim, I want to thank you for inviting me. You're so gorgeous. You're too gorgeous. And I'm honored to come back to be on a show with you. You really energize me. You really do.
No, you really energize me. and my mentor, when I'm at the gym, Carolyn, I'd be like, okay, I got to get this down. I got to get this down. I got to get this down like Carolyn. And as everyone knows, I celebrate a birthday that's coming up. And we're going to be turning double nickels, and I'm so excited. And I can't have more of a better mentor than Miss Carolyn A. Brent, because once she shared with you her age, I'm going to let her do that. It's like, oh my God, you're going to faint. So before we get to it, I like to always open up my show with a prayer. Miss Carolyn, is that good? Okay with you?
Amen. Please do.
Yes, I like to always invite the divine one, the omnipotent one, the holy one into my podcast show. So dear God, we just want to thank you first for your grace, for your power, for your almighty being divine. We're inviting you in this podcast and have your way. May your words go as far as the east, as far as the west, as far as the south, as far as the east, and everybody who listens be transpired, informed. May they be transformed, illuminated, and get a nugget that can help them transform their lives. Thank you so much, God. And God bless Carolyn for coming back and giving her the voice, giving her being an author to share her experience and just sharing with the world her experience with us. And God, thank you, because without you, I am nothing. And thank you for giving me this voice in this vision to carry on this podcast show. God, thank you. Woo! Miss Carolyn, take it away, girl. Take it away.
Well, you're getting ready to celebrate double nickels.
Yes.
I'm getting ready to celebrate. One of my friends said sexy five.
I love
it. 65, but it's sexy five. That's what she said. She says, Carolyn, don't tell people you're turning 65. Say you're turning sexy five. I gotta tell you, I'm embracing that, Kim.
Oh, I just wrote it down. Did everybody listen? Say it one more time. She said, what? Sexy five.
Sexy five. Instead of 65 is sexy five. And I'm grateful. I am grateful to God for every healthy day I'm on this planet. And we talked earlier today, Kim, because there was snipers over here, or sniper over here. And we both talked about how health, without your health, you couldn't have this show. Without your health, you can't be happy with your family without your health. And Kim, just this week, 4 people that I know, and these are all men, hospitalized with either heart attack, stroke, aneurysm, you name it. I get the phone calls with that. And one of the guys, the youngest guy, was 32 years old.
Wow.
Literally dead from adult sibling rivalry. It was family stuff. So I'm here to say people need to be less focused on stuff.
That's right.
And look at your health and your family and love on your family, love your health, because, Kim, we're always talking about self-care. You and I both. You're too gorgeous. You're always talking about health, but then you always talk about exercise. You talk about eating right. You talk about finances. You talk about spiritual. That people don't realize. Health is not just your physical beauty that people think of. It's your medical, your financial, your spiritual, your emotional, and your love. The love. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk about that. Love. Mm-hmm. Love conquers all things. And I got to tell you, when I get inspired, I was inspired this past Friday. I went to the beach, although there was thunder clouds outdoors, but the Holy Spirit said, Carolyn, go, and you go on your 6-mile walk. Now, I was the only person on the beach because all the other sane people, they knew that it was going to rain. But me, Carolyn A, Brent, I'm thinking, oh, God's going to make a special opening for me and it's not going to rain. But guess what? It didn't rain, it drenched. And I was literally soaked from my head down to the bottom of my feet. But Kim, I met the finest lifeguard on planet Earth.
I love it. I love it.
And he said, do you know you're the only one here at the beach? This is a true story. And I looked at this guy, man, and I looked at his body and I looked at his just beautiful attitude. I said, yes, but no, it's you and I together here on this beach. But he was basically saying, like, Miss, it's raining out. Maybe you shouldn't be on the beach because that's when thunderstorms will come. Right. But I got to tell you, I was inspired just looking at that beautiful body of his and his beautiful spirit. And that inspired me.
I bet it did. I bet it was eye candy.
Oh, yeah.
It always helps.
Now, this is what I'm going to start doing. Instead of walking on the beach, I'm going to start jogging on the beach now.
Right.
Because I'm inspired. I'm inspired. So that's, we all have to have something in life to inspire us to get up out of that bed, put your feet on the ground, and give yourself an hour. Most people tell me, Carolyn, I don't have an hour. And I said, just get up 1 hour earlier and you give yourself an hour. And Kim, I go to the gym 6 days a week. And if I'm not in the gym, I'm at the ocean doing my walk. That's part of my spiritual fitness that I have. But people got to do it. And by the way, Kim, you look fabulous.
Thank you.
It pays off with all those videos that you're working out and you're doing this. I'm watching you. I let you know I'm watching you.
Well, thank you. And you know what, Carolyn? We got to practice what we preach. Now, I coach my clients. I just actually got another client last week, and I'm helping them with their weight management and also their detox program, and it's great. And you have to be what you're preaching. You have to be authentic about that. Absolutely. But I'm just going to segue just a little bit to the people that are joining in to let them know that we are actually going to be talking today about health and fitness over 50. Well, you could say over 40, but we're really going to focus on over 50 because I'm turning double nickels, and Miss Sexy 5 over here got a lot to share. So before I do that, for people who don't know Miss Carolyn A. Brent, she actually is an award-winning best-selling author of 5 books on caregiving, including The Caregiving's Companion, Caring for Your Loved One Medically, Financially, and Emotionally while caring for yourself. And she can be found in the Library of Congress, as well as Harvard, Stanford, Johns Hopkins, and numerous other medical centers and universities. An accomplished speaker. She hosts her own television show, and she getting ready to do a TED Talk, but she ain't tell nobody that, but I just have to say that because she's doing it and I'm so excited. And program that provides vital knowledge of care and welfare for the sick and disabled people, and Caregiver Story, a nonprofit organization that provides free medical and legal resources to public through a compelling website that attracts more than 300,000 visitors monthly. I just had to give her some kudos. For those of you who did not listen to the first podcast, y'all need to go back and listen to the one with Carolyn A. Brent because it's amazing. And this one actually is the follow-up to that. So Miss Carolyn, you mentioned a couple of things, but let's jump right in. What inspires you to stay healthy? And what was your defining moment that kind of catapult that just turned it around to make where you were to where you are a permanent lifestyle of health and fitness?
Being a caregiver, a former caregiver, and being around sick people and going to, hospitals and long-term care and short-term care and just all emergency, I always said to myself, I don't want to be that person. Yeah. I don't want someone to tell my body what it needs or having someone putting a tube down my throat. Right. And the number one thing that turned my life around when my family took my dad away from me, they snatched him and they decided adult sibling rivalry. and I got really sick, Kim, and I was in the hospital. I thought I was having a heart attack, and the doctor said, no, that's not a heart attack, Miss Brent, that's a panic attack. And that's when my life turned around, because my father's spirit stood at the foot of my bed, and this is what his spirit said: Carolyn, all the love and wellness you poured into me, you've got to pour it into yourself. And I thought I was going crazy when I truly saw my father telling me that, but he wasn't there. But that's what I had imagined in my head. I got out of that bed and I became a caregiver for me. And it was a long journey. I didn't just get like this. I had to go to 3 years of therapy with Dr. Hare in San Francisco, 3 days a week, because I was traumatized by my daddy being snatched from me. Then they buried him, and then a long distance relative told me. So you imagine how messed up I was in the head, but God had a message and wellness for me, and God had to straighten me out through the medical, financial, and legal and self-care for me to write all of these books that I have right here. God had an assignment for me. So the way that I had to get rid of negative, stinking thinking people, that was the number one. I had to get rid of them. The people that tell you that you can't, those are people that are negative, stinking thinking people. You got to be around people like you, Kim, people that are going to that's at the top, people that are always creating. You've created so many channels and so many things. And so it's like, what is Kim going to come up with next? Because you have vision. And I literally love visionaries.
Yes.
That helps me.
Yes,
so when I see what you're doing, I'm going, Kim's doing it, she's working out. Because people don't realize, in order for you to look the way you look right now on this camera, they got to look at the background when you have on your workout clothes and a sweatband on your head, and you're sweating, and no makeup, and you're drinking your water to hydrate yourself, and then you put pictures of what you're eating, because you are practicing literally what you teach people.
Exactly.
And I got to tell you, that's outstanding, because there's a lot of people that don't practice what they're teaching.
That's true. And you know what, Carolyn, you mentioned a very important point. You do have to practice what you preach. And you know what? I'm not even at the end game of where I want to be. I mean, I look at you. I mean, and we always self-improvement. You're in perfection. I'm gonna get there. I'm on my way to that. Because when I saw those pictures at your age being a bodybuilder, and so now your peers just respect you when they see you coming on giving those trophies on stage. It's like, she made it, but she's maintained it. She made it, but she maintained it. She made it, but she maintained it. Let's get into the maintaining. So now we have women, you go on these Jenny Craig diets, you do all these kind of keto cleanses, food eliminations, all this kind of stuff. You lose the weight, you see a little bit of celebration, but you don't stay there. Where is the gap? Then all of a sudden you gain the weight back. Now, when the weight comes back, it comes bring cousins and everything else. And it's like, oh my God, I lost all this adipose tissue, and all of a sudden you got these lipid cells back that you didn't even know that was back. So what is that thing? That's, I think, is the missing gap. When women over 50 start to lose the weight, how do you stay there, Carolyn?
This is the key. You can't ever stop. See, and thank you for saying,
there it is. I hope y'all got it. I hope y'all got it. You don't stop.
You got to keep going. Kim, the older I get, the harder it is for me. Yeah. But because I know how good it feels to have your body tight, guess what? I'm like hooked on it. I'm hooked on, when I take my clothes off, I like to look at what I see in that mirror when I take my clothes off. Then I like what I look like when I put my clothes on. I like what I see in the mirror. So I'm getting ready to do some bathing suit shots in about 4 weeks.
I can't wait.
And you know what, Kim? I can't wait either. I can't wait, because when I look at my stomach, and I still have a 6-pack, but I work hard for it. Yeah. It's like you're constantly, to me, there's no, in my case, perfection is something that I'm chasing. but I'll never get it. So I keep chasing it. So it's just when a woman or a man or anyone starts the wellness, there's no end date. They got to keep it up.
So you know what, Carolyn, I say this. I said this like 15 minutes ago. I can say this because I speak it, I live it, it's authentic. I was married before for years, almost a decade. And one of the most beautiful compliments that my ex-husband could have ever given me, to say, girl, you look even more amazing today than decades ago when we were married. It's just like, I have friends that would say, I don't even recognize you 20 years ago because you look fabulous. But let me first give glory to God, because when people see me, they don't see me, they see God. It is the God that is in me that has helped me to preserve where I am, the vision of where I'm going, and the mission to be able to keep it. So that's what that is. But I think the thing is that we as women need to know we're sexy, we're wonderfully made. God knows every hair in our body. And it's like, you got to love yourself. I love what you just said. You're going to do these bathing suits because you like what you see. You are excited. You are just like, hey, I'm ready for this. Why is it that women can't see their own beauty? Why, Carolyn? We have to see our own beauty. It is not about your man, your beloved, your other, your significant, your partner, whomever you define it to be. It is about finding the love within yourself and maintaining that. Single or alone, married or divorced, widowed, you need to find the love within yourself. Why is that hard, Carolyn? Why are we missing it? Where's that missing link?
There's variables. The first variable, women are natural nurturers, and they're always giving to someone else, and they put themselves on the back burner, especially if they've had children. May have some railroad tracks or stretch marks or whatever they have on their tummy. They just go, well, I'm supposed to be like this. And maybe they'll have those stretch marks, but they don't have to buy into the flab or the big gut. They don't have to buy into that, because what comes along with gut issues, diabetes, a heart attack, stroke, all these
syndrome X,
Absolutely.
hypertension, certain kinds of cancers.
Absolutely.
We know when you begin to have those gut issues, it's inflammation. And we know what happens when you begin to get inflammation in the body. We know when you gain every 10 pounds, you're at risk. So as you're going up every 7, every 10, you are at risk for certain health conditions. Just that alone, when you get on the scale should be a motivational factor to say, I need to lose this. I need to be awaken, and stay awoke and do something, right?
That's right. But Kim, a lot of women feel that they can't do it. So they may envy you, or they may envy me, or they may envy someone else, and they can do it too. It's not that you are the only too gorgeous beauty. It's not the Carolyn A. Brent, the sexy 5-year-old to be. The bottom line, you work hard at it. I work hard at it. So the only thing that I share, and I will put my life on the line with this, because I believe it so firmly, everyone, including men, they need to give themselves 1 hour of me time. Yeah. And people think that's selfish. No, that's not selfish. That's self-care. Period. And people think self-care is vanity. No, I'm not talking about vanity.
Exactly.
The spiritual, the mental, the physical. When I go to the gym, now I do try to look cute at the gym. I do.
Yes.
It helps me to work out even better.
Well, you got a matching outfit from Lululemon, don't it? It really do, don't it? And you don't got to go to Lululemon. You could go to the TJ Maxx, but just make sure you coordinate that you match.
It really, statistically, I actually wrote in the book that you were reading, I talked about, science talked about how when you buy or wear the right workout clothes, you actually work out better. You are just more energized. I can't remember what chapter that's in. I think it's in chapter 7. But when I saw the statistics on that, science wrote it. I didn't write it. It was medical information. I said, this is really super fantastic. So when I go to the mall, I'm going and I'm buying cute workout clothes, and that helps to motivate me. That's how I motivate myself.
I love it, Carolyn. I love it. I am loving this.
Yes.
So, another concern for women 50s and over is the concern of the libido that decreases as we age. In actuality, for women, and we're going to speak just a little bit about this, your libido should be going up over 50, ladies. This is when you really find your sexual your sexuality. This is your prime. 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond should be your prime. And if it is not, you really need to look at your diet. I get it all the time as a licensed esthetician. You guys know I'm the owner of Two Gorgeous Wellness. And the number one question that comes in sometimes ladies may ask me is about their libido is just being affected. It's like their mojo has just been like, they just are not in the mood to want to be able, their sexuality to have sex with their beloved partner.
Right.
And then we get the estrogen and the progesterone and testosterone, the hormones that begin to affect when we get into perimenopause, when we get into menopause and postmenopause, you have that's going on. So my question to you, I think it starts if women are having this decrease of activity of wanting to have sex in their 50s and 60s and beyond, this is when we really need to kick it up a notch and exercise and add some weights. So speak to that, Miss Carolyn, because I get that a lot, that women just like, oh, I'm not in the mood, I don't feel like it, but then they're looking at their weight, I have weight gain. I tell women all the time, you need to be the sexiest person in your bedroom and outside your bedroom. When you come in the shower, when you out the shower, when you're in the living room and when you're not, you need to be the most sexiest person to yourself. Then your beloveds look at you and say, oh my God, because it's what's inside that permeates outside. It's what's inside that permeates outside. So speak on that, Carolyn.
Well, this is what I want to say. First, I believe ladies should speak to their healthcare professional, their gynecologist. They need to get everything tested. It's very, very, very important to make sure nothing else is going on.
Absolutely.
And then they need to contact you, Kim. That's my recommendation. I'm serious. And the reason why, and I could speak to this really honestly. That's not my area of expertise. It really isn't. I'm sexy 5 to be, and the bottom line, I'm not married. I live a celibate life, because I choose to for spiritual reasons and godly reasons. So therefore, I would say a gynecologist and to Kim. I mean, seriously, because Kim, you're one thing that I love about your brand. You are an expert with everything that you do. You've gone to school for it, you have the training for it, and the bottom line, a person could just look at you. You don't look like the way you look just because you just want to. You've earned that. And that's what I want. Women, I don't care what color they are. They got to earn their deep beauty. That's why my university is called Deep Beauty Health and Wellness University. It's deep. And deeping, that's why this background, I love the ocean. The ocean is beautiful on the surface. But if you keep going deep and keep going deeper and deeper and deeper to the center of the earth, it'll scare the crap out of you because it's dark. And there's all kind of, I call it alien, fish things that you've never seen. But we look at the surface, but what's going on deep? People need to know, like in this 65-year-old body to be, but sexy 5-year-old body to be. It's deep because I'm spine on spine, I'm bone on bone in my spine. Nobody would ever know that. Why? Because I manage my inflammation by what I put in my doggone mouth. I work out every day to build muscle. That's why I'll be on the beach with the bikini on going, okay, sexy 5 is here. And
So Carolyn, a quick segue. You are going to release these photos after they're complete and show them with the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be. I just know that. Okay, Essence and I see an Essence magazine, Forbes. I see it. And 3 years after that, I'm gonna be in there too. Okay. So let me just quickly. So I wanted to quickly recap this. That we heal on 4 levels. Even as a massage therapist myself, we work with this. And the planes we heal is the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual. Right. And that all ties into your health and well-being and your self-care. Yeah. It all ties in. It's a continuum. So now let's talk about. Come on now. I want you to share your anti-aging tips, because you got some anti-aging tips as it comes to your skincare. And then we're going to end with your eating best practices in the book that you sent me. So when people look at your skin, it's amazing. It's vibrant. I mean, it's just, you don't look your age, girl, 30 years off of that. And I'm sure that people want to come up to you when you at Lenardi's and they're just like, let me touch it. What are some of your top anti-aging tips for skincare?
Well, the number one, get rid of any negative stinking thinking people.
I see she keeps saying it, you guys. She keeps saying it over and over and over. We think it's $1,000 cream that you got to go buy. You don't have to buy it. It's
Because-
mental. We
yeah.
heal on 4 levels: the mental, the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual level.
Yeah, because Kim, when a person stresses you out, what does it do? It wrinkles the skin, it tightens the body,
Wrinkles.
it just makes a
And
person
dehydrates you. It dehydrates you and you get wrinkles.
absolutely. So the first thing is getting rid of the stinking thinking people out of your life. And I have that all in all my books. I'm surprised that the publishing companies, they let me
Get rid of the stinking thing of people. Did you guys get that? I love it.
That's key. And then hydration, 64 ounces of water at least per day. Now I notice that you're always drinking water, you're promoting that. That's very, very key. And then I have 30 things that everyone should take out of their diet. Now I didn't write that, I only wrote it from the research I've done by interviewing gastroenterologists and from people that deals with the gut. And the first 3 things that I see people eating all the time is frozen foods. Get rid of that, because what you eat is going to affect your skin, affect your body. Pizza, people love pizza, but that's not good for a person. Bacon and ketchup. Those are like the 4 things that I could think of straight off, but I have like 30 in the book. And the bottom line, you're always, Kim, I've noticed you're always sharing with people about plant-based diet, plant-based diet. I gotta tell you, the more I eat holistically, the better it is for my skin, for my hair, for my weight. I don't have a weight problem because I refuse to let my weight become a problem. People say that, oh, I've had a weight problem my whole life. No, you have an eating problem, not a weight problem. People, they blame it on, well, it's hereditary. That could be true, but I had a sister, she died at the age of 49, and she always had a weight challenge, but she never managed what she was eating.
I love what you just said there, Carolyn. You said that you have an eating problem, not a weight problem. Manage how you eat.
Right.
And I always like to say, Sharon Jacobs is my colon therapist, and we have conversations about this. Food is your medicine and medicine is your food. Food is your medicine and medicine is your food. And so by eating properly and preparing your food properly and changing the relationship that you have with food will affect the outcome, then therefore you won't have a weight problem. So thank you so much, Carolyn, for mentioning that. And what I love about what you said is that people probably would have thought, she's going to say, oh my God, what kind of eye cream I need to buy? What kind of cleanser? What kind of facial product? What I loved, it's nourishing your soul and your body. Is that what keeps your skin looking younger? And thank you so much for sharing that. It's the food that you put in your system.
That's key. That's really key. I could look at a person, I'm honestly, and there's people my age that I went to high school with, and I could say some of my friends they haven't aged gracefully. So I asked, well, what challenges did they have in their life for their skin to be so wrinkled, and we're the same age? Yeah, I do have wrinkles, but you know what? My wrinkles that I have, they're manageable wrinkles. And I just love the way God is allowing me to age, because even when I go to the doctor, let me share this with you. I went because I had to get a colonoscopy. It's that time of the year. And matter of fact, Kim, the doctors, the gastroenterologists are making a recommendation that when you're in your 40s, you get your colon checked. I mean, colon cancer hits every age group. So the first thing my doctor said, he looked at the chart, and then he looked at me, and he looked at the chart, and he said, and then he left, and then he came back in, and he said, so you're Carolyn Brent? I said, yes. And he said, oh, you don't look your age. He thought he was in the wrong room with the wrong chart. That's what I'm trying to say. So the bottom line is that what doctors see with 64 is, they see someone humped over, really overweight, and possibly have cancer, instead of coming in for preventative with a mini skirt on and a tube top. That's how I went in there, because I want folks to know, like, okay, yeah, I'm coming to you for maintenance. I'm not coming to you with a problem. So I share with everyone, Kim, and I know that you share this, literally maintain the body by going for your annual checkups. Whether you want to or not, you go. I just had pap smear, 2, 3 weeks ago, and I got my results, and I'm going, thank you, God, another year clear. You got to do it. People got to do it. So, Kim, to just summon everything up, self-care is an absolute must. If a person wants to not be in one of the nursing homes, you don't want to go.
Yes, okay.
If you don't want to have long-term care, if you don't want a tube down your throat, it's how a person wants to check out. I want to check out with some high heels on, saying, at least I tried, at least I'm looking good, and that'll be the end of it.
I love it, Carolyn. I love you said you want to check out with high heels. I used to sell Mary Kay actually Uber years ago, and I did get a chance to go to Dallas and to meet her before she passed away. I sold Mary Kay for about 10 years. And that woman to the day she died was in stiletto heels crossing the stage. And I said, like you said, you want to go out with heels. And I love my high heels. I want to go out with my stiletto heels too. You know? And it's just and my lipstick. I can't forget my two gorgeous lipstick. So, Carolyn, I think this has been great. We talked about health and fitness over 40. A couple of things I'm going to recap. You have to have a really strong mindset. That mindset needs to be established. You don't stop when you start. A lifestyle of fitness is wellness, is not stopping. Once you find your rhythm, once you find your sweet spot, you continue going and you continue going, and it gets better and better and better. You actually love yourself. It is loving yourself. You drink 64 bottles of ounces, or I say half your body weight in ounces every day. We heal on 4 levels. Those 4 levels are the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual. They must all be in a continuum. We have to reduce inflammation in the body and reduce those inflammatory foods. And actually, that other thing was eating successfully for your skin. You eat to nourish your skin, and that is the anti-aging secret. Now, Carolyn, as we end your book, and thank you for graciously blessing me with the book, Your Life Through Self-Care. Some of the things you talked about as your eating best practices. I'm just going to mention a few, and then I want you to end with them. You mentioned eating small, healthy meals, keeping your snacks small. You also mentioned that starting your day with fruit. And I tell my clients that too, to start your day with fruit in the morning. And this is really most important. Slow down, mindfulness, and chew. When I saw that in the book, it's like, praise God. Stop eating before you're too full, but chew your food. And oftentimes we're not pausing to chew our food and listen to your gut. But then also stay in check and control of portion size. And then you said, listen to your body. The most important thing you said throughout your whole book is listen to your body. Absolutely. What would you like to add to that as we close out?
You know what? Everyone's body is different, and we have to listen to our bodies, your personal body. Your body will be your coach. And in my book, I talk about your best friend, the best coach you'll ever have is that person when you stand in front of the mirror, totally butt naked, and you make a bargain with that person, yourself, in the mirror, and say, okay, we got this. We're going to do this, and be accountable to yourself. And that's all I have to say. I live it just like you live it, Kim. I love what you're always putting up. You're just all over the place. But that's what self-care is about, is being all over the place. Yes. And you're too gorgeous as far as your skincare and your makeup. That's just the icing on top of the cake. But the foundation is the dirty work when you go deep, the exercising. Right. I mean,
when you go deep.
Then when people see me at the gym, I always have on a baseball cap. I mean, it's my way of not combing my hair, but still looking cute. But
I love it, Carolyn.
They don't see me with my hair down and my makeup on. I'll wear my lashes and I'll put a little bit of lipstick, but I'm there to get dirty and funky and the whole bit. I will do that. I put on a waistband, and the bottom line, you can still look beautiful and take care of that body, and there's no end date. And that's all I got to say. Praise God. Kim, you're so beautiful. Thank you, Kim. Twice, I've been on your show twice this year, and I feel honored. Thank you for having me back.
Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Carolyn. And I want to just end with one last thing, one last tip that we can share with the ladies on aging gracefully. One last tip, and I'll share mine. My tip on aging gracefully, because now I'm crossing over, I'm part of the 50 and Sexy and Fabulous Club. and I can speak on this. And I'm proud. I'm okay. I'm okay. As I turn double nickels. Oh my goodness. My tip that I would like to share with the women is that the number one tip on aging gracefully is practicing forgiveness. When you practice forgiveness, it is the anchor to everything in your life. Everything in your life. Share one tip on aging gracefully, Miss Carolyn, as we close out the show.
You just said it. You have to forgive. And the reason why I say that, when a person holds animosity, hatred, there's no beauty, there's no deep beauty that could resonate outside. So what people see when they see this, my skin, they're seeing that deep beauty inside.
Yes.
And that's all they're seeing. It's an illusion. As far as my skin is, the illusion is showing what's going on inside. So you're right. You got to forgive. You got to love and keep the negative, stinking, thinking people away.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You should have a T-shirt about that on your hat.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that.
Oh. Carolyn, it's been a pleasure, you guys. Thank you, Miss Carolyn A. Brent. Her information will be in the description on how you can purchase all of her books, and go to her website if you have any questions. Miss Carolyn, thank you so much for being a guest again. And podcast listeners, thank you for listening. Podcast viewers, thank you for watching Inspired Conversations with Kim Evans. Bye for now.
Bye.